What is actually going on? According to Google Trends, interest in The Sims 4 has literally remained the same since release. There has been no drop in interest. Despite that, we all know The Sims 4 is a dying game. We know this because maxes are honestly so predictable. We can clearly see they're doing the exact same thing with The Sims 4 as they did with The Sims 3 when it was dying. When The Sims 3 was dying, they promptly implemented The Sims 3 store. Similar to kits in The Sims 4, these store items were extremely overpriced. If you're curious, by the way, this Dreams of India kit for 1,550 Sims points is approximately £9.50, which is just over 12 American dollars. To me, this clearly, allegedly appears to be like some kind of last-ditch effort to rinse a game for more money before it truly dies off. This is a common thing that video game companies do. We're seeing this happen with GTA 5, the way that they just constantly re-release it to rinse it for more money. Most Sims players are addicts. Whether you admit it or not, you have an addiction to buying DLC for The Sims 4. Every time you buy a pack, your brain gets a dopamine hit and you feel good. But then after 5 minutes of playing with a new pack, you realize it's not really that fun, and then the dopamine hit drops and you don't feel happy anymore. So you buy another pack to make you feel happy again, and it's just this endless cycle. This is literally the behavioral response of somebody with an addiction. That's not my opinion, that's just what the research says. Don't shoot the messenger. From a financial perspective, I can see why releasing smaller chunks of DLC like kits is a great idea when a game is slowly dying. You give people that happy feeling of the dopamine hit when they buy a new pack and they get excited, and it's minimal effort because it doesn't have as many items as the usual packs do, and because they're worse value for money than any other pack, but they sell more quickly and easily. As a company, you could make more money for selling them rather than selling a fully fleshed out pack, for example. And that's the point in which, in my opinion, it got to with The Sims 3 store. The Sims 3 is full of ads everywhere for The Sims 3 store. You cannot escape them. I remember back in the day when I was playing The Sims 3, I almost felt patronized and I guess kind of, treated like livestock, like I was being used just to make money from every time I saw all of these Sims 3 store ads, and I really didn't like it by the end. It was like the game was just turning into a money-making machine, and I feel like The Sims 4 is going down the same path. Any company, whether that's EA or McDonald's, has sales targets, which I understand. I have no idea how EA and Maxis work out their sales target goals, but most companies will do this quarterly or every few months. We all know My Wedding Stories is a total train wreck, and it has so many bugs, it's completely unplayable. They updated the pack literally a couple of days ago, and I did a playtest and it was still bad. Many people speculated on Twitter whether or not they release this pack early in order to reach their quarterly or monthly sales targets or whatever. I don't know whether or not that is true, but clearly this pack was not ready for release when it was released. To me, this indicates that EA feels comfortable releasing packs before they're ready to be released in order to reach their sales targets. Allegedly. And more so, this notion of constantly releasing kits to achieve these sale targets makes sense. More specifically, build, buy, and create a sim kits. The thing about build, buy, and CAS is that it does not break the game. When kits were first announced, we got a build, buy kit, we got a CAS kit, and we got a gameplay kit. But since then, we've literally had no other gameplay kits. Coincidentally, that gameplay kit that they gave us was extremely broken and received a lot of negative backlash. Are the Sims team scared of giving us more gameplay because the game is broken and further gameplay would only break it even more? Since mid-2021, we have only received one pack which has had actual gameplay, and that was My Wedding Stories, and look what happened with that. It literally turned out to be the most broken pack for The Sims 4 ever. Coincidence? I think bloody not. But with the very apparent breaking down of this game, why is it still alive? In the recent years, there has been a huge boom of builders in The Sims 4. I actually really love building in The Sims 4. It's my favorite thing to do in The Sims 4, even though I'm not very good at it. And I really like how there's just so many people these days making so much cool stuff. But fundamentally, it's important to remember that The Sims 4 is a life simulation game, not an architectural simulator. We can't just forget the fact that it is a game, push that to the side and focus only on build buy, or focus only on CAS. Is it that simmers are moving away from gameplay to build buy because the gameplay is broken? Or is the gameplay broken because players prefer build buy and subsequently EA choosing to focus more of their time on that? It's like a chicken and the egg situation, and honestly I have no idea what the answer could be. But this notion of The Sims just breaking down slowly over time, again, is something that happened very much with The Sims 3. As The Sims 3 started breaking down, especially since the release of the Island Paradise pack and the Into the Future pack, there seemed to be more of this emphasis switching towards The Sims 3 store and incentivizing people to buy build, buy and CAS items from The Sims 3 store, which came with a gradual reduction of the gameplay elements as opposed to the build, buy and CAS. Yet even more interestingly, interest graphs for the life cycle cycle of The Sims 3 is almost identical to that of The Sims 4. Just as The Sims 4 had a really stable level of interest, The Sims 3 also made an extremely consistent level of interest across its entire release up until the release of The Sims 4. How can a game be dying yet be ever so much alive at the exact same time? The Sims is truly an anomaly. An article on the EA website states, as we look towards our future, continuing to create entertaining and unexpected content for The Sims 4 for years to come, blah 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 blah. It's almost laughable at this stage that the game is clearly so broken, yet players have an addiction to constantly buying into the DLC for this game when it's clearly not working and there are severe issues, especially lag issues and bugs. EA are also not fixing all of these issues to a substantial level to make the game playable. And although I see players complain about this all the time, they still buy all the packs, they still continue playing the game. Yes, The Sims 4 is alive, but is it alive for the right reasons? Are the Sims team just incredibly smart for adapting the way that they market and sell the game in order to reach changing consumer demands? Or are their current sales tactics just a last-ditch effort to make more money before the game totally breaks? Honestly, I have absolutely no idea, and that's why I titled this video Something Strange Happening with The Sims 4, because honestly, I don't know. If you want to look in more detail as to why I think The Sims 4 is dead, please click this video here. See you in the next one.